Yo, 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 got another guitar lesson here for you. I'll play this thing, learn some stuff. So we're still with the blues, and this lesson's going to be just how to address the first change in the blues. Again, this is a more advanced lesson, so we're not just thinking that blues scale anymore. We can use that whenever we want to, but we want to be aware of what happens to the harmony when we go to that 4 chord right here. So there's some new notes available that we want to be aware of, and there's some cool ways to move into that chord, and this lesson is going to be about that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have watched the previous blues lesson that I just taught, which is basically shows you how to outline that first chord, the A dominant 7th chord. So check that one out. If you don't know that, you need to know that for this lesson. So then that's our first chord, that A dominant 7. Now, standard blues, we're going to hold that for 4 bars. Sometimes there's a quick 4. You go to the 4 on the 2nd bar, and then you hold the 1 for another 2 bars. Either way, it's easiest just to, honestly, we're just going to go back and forth between the 2 chords a little bit. And that way we can really hear what it sounds like and also just practice moving into those chords. So now that you know the A dominant 7 arpeggio, we're going to look at the arpeggio for the D. Now I think I might have mentioned this, maybe not. So basically if you want to do the D chord, all you got to do is slide down to a D and play the same shape. Now, that gets you in the ballpark, but we really don't want to be sliding back and forth. But it's good to know that. This is the D dominant 7 down here, starting on the D, D, F sharp, A, C, D, F sharp, A, C, D, which is 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Okay? Same shape down here. But instead of sliding back and forth, what we're going to do is we're going to find that on the A string, that D arpeggio. So we're going to start on the D on the A string, which is the 5th fret. And that octave, that first octave, is exactly the same. Okay, so then if we want to do another octave, that's what we're looking at here. See if I can just kind of, I'll say the notes for you, and then I'll give you some frets here that'll help you out. We got D, F sharp, A, C, D, F sharp, A, C, D. So that's 2 full octaves. I'm playing this 5th fret on the A string, and then we got 4 and 7 on the D string. And then we got 5 and 7 on the G string. And then we got 7 and 10 on the B string. And then 8 and 10 on the high E string. So if you need to pause it and slow it down, or pause it and just check that out, you're going to need to know this to be able to get what you want out of this lesson. But follow along with me here, and I'm going to show you how to implement this information and what to look for. So we've got the 1 chord to the 4 chord back and forth, okay? So now if we know that, we're going to play that A arpeggio over the 1, and over the 4 we're going to play the D. Okay? So let me just do a little bit of a jam here for you so you can kind of see what that sounds like. So let's see, here we got timing a little off there, but so it's just 2 measures of each. So there's the D, there's 1 octave, so we got the A, D, to practice. Just move back and forth between these. Now if I was going to play like on some lines. Example for you. So what's going on here? So this is the key to going from that 1 to the 4 chord. What's the best way to move into that chord? Now there's no right answer here, but I'll tell you this. The half steps are money. So if I'm doing this A, I want you to locate that C sharp. Now that C sharp is a half step. You can go down or up. You can go up to the D. That's going to give you that to the D chord there. That's a nice move. Or to the C, which is also in the D chord, D7 chord. So those two notes there, from the C to the D, or the C sharp to the D, or C sharp to the C. So this is what it sounds like. So if I'm just hammering on the C sharp, here comes the 4 chord. Okay, now I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to go down. So we got C sharp, down to the C. yeah. Now, okay, there's another one. Now, of course, that doesn't work just there. I'm on the 6th fret of the G string here. That doesn't just work there. That works. There's a C sharp down here. Or you can find your C sharp up here. This is why it's good to know your note names. Also, the scale degrees. That's the 3 of the 1 chord. So you can think of the 3 of the 1 chord as being this magical note that when it goes to the 4 chord, you can go down a half step or up a half step, and you're going to have some cool lines. So that's one thing to be aware of. Now the 1 in the A chord is just the 5 in the D chord, so that one doesn't change. The 5 is similar, but we're talking about whole steps now. So if you're on the 5, the E, you can slide up a whole step for F sharp, which is the 3 of the D chord, or down a whole step, which is the 1 of the D chord. So let's see what that sounds like. I'm going to go up. That's into your D chord, that's the F sharp. Back to that E, which is the 5 of the A, down to the 1 of the D, okay? There's a nice little example there. Now that's a whole step, so that it's nice. It's nice to hit those chord tones. But those half steps are really where it's at. So there's another half step here. We got the flat 7 of the A is a G. So that one slides down to that F sharp. That's a good one. So we got so these are all good ways to move around. So let me show you an example now that you're aware of that, so you can kind of hear. We'll start with the C sharp one. Or let's see here. Here we go. So now I'm into the D. Get that 7. just some examples. Take your time with this stuff. There's a lot of information here. The main, I would say, if you're really wanting to get after this, take your time. C, you got to practice these shapes. You got to know the scale degrees. And then if you got a looper pedal, that's great. Or you can just use a blues backing track as well. And just remember, this is just the first move in the blues, and there's not too many moves in the blues. You got the 1 to the 4, back to the 1. So that's why this is such an important exercise, because a lot of the blues is that 1 to 4 or 4 to 1 motion. Then of course you got the N, you got the 5, down to the 4, back to the 1. Again, the 1 to the 4 is there, or the 4 to the 1. So really the only other motion you have is 1 to 5. So you can practice doing that. If you want to. That could be for a different lesson. This one's really just talking about the 1 to 4 chord. But obviously then the 5 to 4 is another motion. So hope you guys enjoyed the lesson and have a wonderful day. Peace.